Back with us on Power Breakfast. Let's now focus on some important earnings. Tata Consumer reported a mixed set of fourth quarter numbers. The margin saw some expansion while the net profit missed estimates. Mangalam is joining in with the earnings fine print. Morning, Mangalam. How did the numbers look like?
Well, it was indeed a mixed set that Tata Consumer reported, and the mixed nature came in from the top line and the operational performance as well. The revenue came in at around 3927 crores, which is an 8.5% growth as against street expectations of about 10% growth. So high single digit versus low double digit expectations. But it was the EBITDA which moved higher ahead of expectations, so which is why the margins came in at around 16% versus an expectation of around 15% itself. The net profit, yes, was lower than the street expectation, but that's largely because of an exceptional expense. So one won't pay much attention to the miss on the bottom line here. What's good in these numbers? The India revenue came in at around 10.4%. The street was working with a number between 9 to 10%. And that revenue was led by the India Foods business, which including Capital Foods, that's Ching's, came in at around 20%. The street was working with a number of around 12 to 15% there. The international revenue, that grew higher by about 7%. Again, the higher end of the range. Importantly, the margins in the international business improved, and that was a big positive as well. Growth businesses, which is basically Sampann as well as Soulful and Nourishco, are now 18% of the sales of the company as against 15%. So growth businesses are doing well. This is something that we'll be watching out for going forward. And the other thing we'll be watching out for going forward is Capital Foods, which is Ching's products, are now available at 95% of TCPL's distributors, so which will entail scale out here. So that's something which is a story for FY25 and FY26. What missed expectations, however, were the India beverages business. That grew just 3%. The street was expecting a 9 to 10% growth. Why did that happen? Because tea volumes were absolutely flat. Here as well, one was expecting low single digit growth out there. Nourishco, the revenue out there grew just 13% because of delayed summer. The street again was working with a number of over 30%. And as a result of which, the Nourishco full year guidance missed estimates. Importantly, we have Starbucks as well, which grew just 7% in the fourth quarter as against the entire year, where it grew about 12%. So there's a mixed nature. See a bit of red on Tata Consumer today.
A mixed quarter indeed, and in fact we'll be joined by the management of Tata Consumers. The MD and CEO Sunil D'Souza will join us today at 10:45 this morning to discuss the earnings in detail, and Mangalam will be posing a lot of questions to him, I'm sure of that. Do stay tuned to CNBC TV 18 for that conversation.